Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Talking Watches with the edcgunner, and which I show you another vintage watch, and I emphasize it's a vintage because there is a modern reissue that looks exactly like this. There are a couple of differences, and I will tell you what the differences are. But right now, I just want to show you. It's a lovely looking watch, and to someone who's not in the know, this doesn't look so vintage, and that's mainly because of its design. And when something is designed right and timelessly, it's good looking now as it was good looking in the 60s, 70s, just like classic cars and everything else. So this is a Tissot PR 516 automatic GL, and this is a GL stands for Grand Looks. PR stands for particularly rugged, and I know all this because this is not my first Tissot automatic, but this is one of the nicer ones. Actually, one of the nicer vintage watches I had. My first nicer vintage watches I had was a Tissot automatic PR 516, but it was a gold plated version, and it's not just plated, it was gold filled. It was like 20 microns of gold and just looked gorgeous. When I sell that watch, I felt one of my first cases of sour remorse, but after that I've found a steel version of that watch with this gray dial. I didn't like it, and this is one of those sportier versions, and so you can refer to those videos if you want to learn more about movement inside of this watch and everything else. Just Google Tissot edcgunner, and you can find every video like that on mine. But this is a Tissot's sporty line of watches. They started off in the late 50s and early 60s, and when they opened this line, they wanted to market their watches because motor racing was unpopular back in the days, and that's when you can find online all those vintage posters showing that with the leather racing gloves and the bracelet with the holes in it. Speaking of bracelet, this is a Tissot bracelet, and it's very cool and interesting looking. I'm not really sure is this the original bracelet to this model, because everything I see online is that steel ones with the holes, but it looks nice, and it's a good quality bracelet. It has a solid links, nothing folded over and stuff like that, and the overall watch looks nice. And I can tell you I handled the modern version of this, and if you want to check it out, I will put a link in the description box. It's a great watch, modern one. I can tell you it looks nicer than this one. It looks nicer because it's a bit shinier, like it's a brand new. It's a bigger, it has a contemporary size. This is a 35mm watch, but it has those fat locks and wears very nice on my wrist, and my wrist is 18.5 centimeters. Don't know what inch is that, but you can see it works very nice on my wrist, and I love it. And it wears large, this kind of watches with this case style, and the modern one wears a lot larger than it really is, and it's a 40mm. And the difference between the modern one and this one is in the movement, dial, and size. So those are the three main differences. This one is I can tell you, this is a really horological bargain out here. But the modern ones, if you don't want to mess with vintage watches, want to have just nice watch looking like this, I will put a link in the description box. I will find it on Amazon. And the modern ones is, first of all, it looks nicer, it's a bit shinier, the dial is nicer and stuff like that. It's powered with ETA movement inside, and this one is powered with Tissot in-house movement. And back in the 50s, Tissot and Omega were under the same roof, and they developed some of the movements, and some of the movements inside of these watches are identical to some of the models from Omega watches, just a different naming to them, but they are pretty much the same, and I had my watchmaker verify that as well. So the vintage one has that horological pedigree, and it's from the era, and it's more for collectors. But the modern ones is also very nice, and it's a very cool watch to have and wears nicer. The other difference on the vintage is, I hope you can pick this up here on the camera, but this chapter ring, this white thing here on the vintage one here, is raised above the dial, and on the modern one they didn't bother, just slapped it down there, and I would prefer it on the modern one. It's not there at all. So that's one of the reasons I don't have a modern one, because I wore it and I didn't like it too much. But this here, this has that 3D dimension on the watch, and has a raised chapter ring, and the hands are basically going under it. It's really nice and fun to look at, and it's really cool. I'm just gonna take it off my wrist so I can show you how's that Tissot bracelet, and this is how it looks on the back. I don't have the specific key to open this one here, but it has a signed crown and has a drilled lock holes, which is a really something I really would love to see on every watch out there. So true vintage vibe of the 60s, this watch, 60s, 70s, and I absolutely love this raised chapter ring. And another thing I love about this is this bright orange second hand. It just pops out of this watch here, and hands are also like, they kind of remind of like on the thin watches, but it's really cool. And PR, if you don't know what PR stands for, it stands for particularly rugged. So has a nice sign ring. It's automatic, but you can mount it. Has a date here. There are versions with date. There are versions with no date. I always like the no date version, and this is a vintage moment, so there is no quick set date on this one. And yeah, that's it. GL stands for grand looks, so this is one of those fancier models of this, and I can tell you definitely it is. So this, in conclusion, is a great vintage bargain buy, and especially because everyone's on the hunt for vintage Omegas, and I can tell you this is no lesser watch than a vintage Omega. When you buy a vintage Omega, basically you pay for the name on the dial, and this is an excellent value, and these are also underrated, so you can find them at really cool, nice prices, and you get a lot of watch for the money. So yeah, so I'm edcgunner. Thank you all for watching, and see you in the next video.